Hello, it's 9 o'clock, July 10th, and welcome to the weather update. A lot of clouds around today, and when the clouds did break for some blue sky, we had a lot more cumulus congestus clouds form, and they're kind of towering all over the place. Looking at some of these pictures here that I took, they were really towering quite a bit. Some of these clouds were pretty impressive. And it really looked like we were going to see a thunderstorm develop right over the middle of Nassau County with some of these clouds here that we were looking at here. Again, really billowing. These are what you call cumulus congestus clouds. That's what they're called, cumulus congestus. And they're, this is the stage when it starts to try to become cumulonimbus. But it never really happened. We never really got there. There was unfortunately no cumulonimbus clouds forming, although it really looked like it, but there was no rain at the base of these, and then we just had some dissipating cumulus clouds that were driven to the north as the winds shifted. The wind started from the northeast, and then they became southerly. So we do have a shower right now over the city right now, actually right over Central Park in Manhattan. It's actually a heavy shower. You look here, it says heavy rain. No lightning with it. It's not a thunderstorm at all. But it's just been kind of just popped up over there. Probably just from the heat of the day, just residual moisture in the air or whatever. It said it was really trying today, but we never really got to see any thunderstorm activity over Long Island. So let's take a look at some of the observations across the area. We'll start off with the weather and hazards map. And we'll put the dew points in here to show you the humidity's come down a little bit here. It was a little lower earlier when the winds were northeasterly. Now it's coming back up again. The temperatures are only in the 70s, so it's fairly comfortable across Long Island right now, mid 70s generally, and maybe even a little cooler than that on the South Shore. Let's look at Carl Place here, and you will see here we had temperatures generally reaching the low 80s. Dew points never really dropped much. I don't see much of a dew point drop here. I want to look at the historical information. But it did feel like, at least in Hicksville, that there was a lower humidity for at least a little while. Let's see if that lower humidity got to Farmingdale or not. So 71 right now, dew point 67. Let's see. Yeah, the dew points did drop a little more east, I think. That's why. If you were east, you had a dew point drop into the mid. And actually, oh, that's right. Farmingdale was out most of the day. That's right. Farmingdale has been out. I keep forgetting that. I was out yesterday. So let's go to Islip instead. Let's see, because it did feel like there was a little bit of drier air that came in the late afternoon hours. The dew points dropped into the mid and upper 60s. You can see some mid 60s there reported. But we'll look at a bunch of other weather stations here. Let's use this weather and hazards map for the high temperatures today. All right, just to give you an idea of what the high temperatures were. So high temperatures generally were in around the low 80s generally, and they're fairly uniform everywhere. Even Jersey wasn't really all that much hotter compared to our area. So let's go back to the winter map here, and here's where we'll take a little deeper look and to see what the conditions were at various weather stations. I'll first start with Carl Place, and we'll look at Hicksville. 72 right now in Carl Place. Let's see. You don't really see that dew point drop all that much. You really don't. But the winds did change. They were originally from the northeast. If you look down here at the wind chart, you'll see the winds were originally from the northeast in the afternoon, and then they became south with the sea breeze at around 6 o'clock, and that's what dropped the temperature from the low 80s. You can see that dropped into the mid 70s when the sea breeze came through. And we were thinking, well, maybe that sea breeze would trigger some thunderstorms, but it really didn't. It tried to, but it really didn't. Let's go look at Hicksville, because you might be able to see, because it definitely felt drier in this area. The dew points definitely felt lower there than here. So it seemed like there was some drier. Oh, it's AccuRite. Yeah, I think somebody said the AccuRite stations read warm. Yeah, can't use those. I think it'd be this one. Maybe this one will show you what happened. It's annoying because Farmingdale is not working, so let's see if we can get this one to work. Come on. 82.6. There you go. So you can see, yeah, the dew points were a little lower. I mean, just a little bit. We had upper 60s, but when the wind and the sea breeze came in, the temperatures went down, but the dew point shot up by about 3 degrees, so it felt a little more humid. And you can see here, looking at the graph below, you can see where that wind was northerly, and then it was actually northerly most of the day, northerly, northeasterly, and then it switched to south around 5:30, 6 o'clock. And that kind of changed the air mass and made it a little more humid, but the temperatures dropped a little bit as well. So some more of a sea breeze there. Dropped the temperatures. Now, if you were on the South Shore, I'm sure you got that sea breeze a lot sooner. Let's go and look at Massapequa Park. Let's see if we can find Massapequa Park here. Let's go to the heart of Massapequa Park. It's north of our station. All right, we can do this one. It's fine. It's actually too far north. Well, it's good enough. It's too far north, right? It's too far north. Let's do yeah, Bar Harbor. That's the one I was looking for. It's Massapequa Park, Bar Harbor. So let's see what they had. Because I bet it was. We'll see if they also the sea breeze came in there a little sooner. There's no way it hit 86 there. Maybe it did, because the winds were from the north. Northeast, northwest, and the sea breeze. Yeah, they got the sea breeze around 4:30. Yeah, you could see they were pretty hot, and then that sea breeze came in and really dropped things down. But even on the South Shore, for a while there was no sea breeze for a while, so that's why it was kind of even right on the South Shore. Maybe if you're right on the water, maybe you didn't get those northerly breezes. We'll check out Gilgo and see if if they were suffering or they stayed a cool all day. Let's see. No, they even got up to 84. So again, even right at Gilgo, they had that northeast wind. Yeah, north to northeast wind, but the sea breeze kicked in more around like 3 o'clock there and dropped the temperatures down. So that's kind of interesting, right? All right, let's check out North Patchogue. We're not going to Jersey today, right, as far as the weather goes, because it really wasn't that much different there than here. I'll just stick to Long Island in this one. So 70, North Patchogue, he got up to 80 and then dropped around 4 o'clock. I wonder what made the temperature drop so fast around 4 o'clock. Went from 80 to 74. I'm guessing a sea breeze. Yep, that's exactly what happened. He had a north wind, and then it went to south-southeasterly, and that was the sea breeze. But then it jumped back up again when the wind went a little more westerly, and then it dropped again. That's kind of interesting there. For sure. So it seems like the sea breeze was kind of back and forth over that area a little bit. Quite interesting to see. So that's what it looked like over Long Island today. And again, just a a kind of not as nice with the sky, but at least depending on where you are, wasn't too hot. I mean, the humidity, at least we got a tiny little break from the humidity. I mean tiny. Really was tiny, I gotta say. A really small break from the humidity. So this is what the satellite looked like. And you can see, again, all those clouds over us today. You can see a lot of the clouds, and now we got this cirrus streaming in here. Let's go to the MODIS satellite as well. Look at the MODIS satellite. So, looking at the MODIS satellite, you can see all the clouds over us today. We had plenty of clouds over us, not really that much sun. I mean, we had a little more breaks in the afternoon, and then we had that cumulus pop up. Looking around, you can see still plenty of smoke. Look at all this smoke in Canada. Look at all this smoke. This is incredible. This is horrible, man. It's just, we're going to be dealing with this smoke again. Luckily, we weren't dealing with it too much today. But, we'll be back in the picture, and we're going to have problems again. I mean, these fires are just going out of control here. And I don't know. In Canada, it doesn't seem like they make any attempt to put them out at all, or I don't know. They just burn. I think it's just because they're in such remote areas. There's nothing they can do about it. They're not threatening any structures, so they just let them burn. But meanwhile, we got to deal with all the smoke that's coming out of these fires right now. And it looks like there's some haze over here. Yeah, that nice blue sky, I don't know when we'll see that again. And even if you're out west, look at all these fires out west, too, that they have. So even if you're in Flagstaff, it's been very dry there, and they're dealing with smoke, too. So There's really no escape from it unless maybe you went to Florida. Be hot and humid, but you might have a blue sky at least. But other than that, there's no. Maybe over here, looks like this. Looks like they had some nice clear air over Maine, but not so much over us. Now, the other story to talk about is Death Valley, which tied its the hottest record in the country, 130 degrees today. So it tied it, and you knew that was going to happen, all right? And we're going to look at some of the heat now out west. Take these dew points off the screen, and yes, we have a severe weather threat over there, but we're trying to look at the heat that's going on here in Flagstaff. It's been in the 80s, 84, dew point 41. So very very dry conditions, hot, dry, but they have the heat in the west. Places like Stanton, 109. I don't know what Phoenix was, but can't even make out Phoenix in here because again this layer is so deep. You can see plenty of hundreds here. Very hot in the southwest. Here's 117 at this station here. I see 114 at Yucca. See, this is extreme heat, and the whole west coast is just involved in this. Like I said, they're having it really bad. And you can see, look at this, 106, dew point 41, 11% humidity. These conditions are bad. And there's plenty of wind too at this site, 94, dew point 38, and a wind speed of west at 33, gusting to 41. So these conditions are really bad for fires, and they're all in the interior of California. But even if you go somewhere like this site here, 104 and 53 here at this Cal Fire site. I'm not sure where this is, but this looks like this is somewhere close to San Diego. You have to be right on the coast to really get any relief from this heat. 109 at Arroyo, 79 at Big Sur. So if you're right on the water, you're good, but you go inland, there you're dealing with the heat, and it's pretty bad. And I really wish we'd take these. Can we just, this is way too thick of a layer. You can't even make out the cities. I don't know why they have to make it that thick. But I wanted to show you how hot it was. I'm trying to look for L.A. Here. All right. Oh, here it is. Jeez, I was way off. L.A. is further south. Okay. So this is what I mean with those shades. But you can see in L.A., it's not too bad. Definitely have a breeze off the water in places like Orange County. But again, if you go inland, it gets hot. It gets hot quick. Like I said, 115 in Palm Springs. It's just brutal right there. So it's kind of the heat you're dealing with out west. Again, these readings, 104 at these places here. Okay, now at least you got an idea of where these temperatures are being taken. And again, it's all in the inland areas. Heat is just incredible heat out here. Even places. Look at this. Even the 99 reported here in the Santa Cruz Mountain. I guess there's no sea breeze over here. It depends on where you're getting a sea breeze. Now, if you're in San Francisco, you're getting a breeze and you're only in the 60s. But if you go inland, you're dealing with 100 degrees. So in places like Vallejo and stuff like that. So it's because you got these mountains here, it's just going to block the breeze that's going on. It's just going to block it. If you're right on the coast, you're doing great. But if you're inland, forget it, you're dying. In the mountains, I mean, there's a tremendous amount of melting going on in the mountains here from this heat. And if we go and we look at even at Oregon here, trying to find Portland here. Well, there's a place called Medford where it's 99 degrees. It's just really too hot. Not as bad as it was before, but you're not supposed to have this kind of heat in the Pacific Northwest. But now you got to be right at the coast, otherwise you're once you cross the mountain range here, that cool marine air is blocked, and you're dealing with this heat. And it's horrible. And you're 90 in Eugene right now. Portland. All right, Portland's in the 80s. That's not too bad. I'm wondering if it's humid there. It's probably still. Yeah, there's a little humidity in this area, which is interesting. At least there's some humidity, which helps mitigate the wildfire risk, but it's drier to the south, with those dew points much lower. At least Washington seems like they're not dealing with anything too bad. The heat has been pushed back inland, but it's all over here. Once you go inland, it's just all over the place with this heat. And even into Canada, you're still dealing with this heat. 90 in British Columbia. Let's see if we can find Kamloops. It's 95 in Kamloops right now. So these are the kind of conditions you're dealing with here in Canada, and that's why these fires keep going. It's really, and the warmth just goes way up there. I mean, 77 in these areas of the Northwest Territories, which is warm for them. You have to go way up to find any relief here, and this heat just makes its way up to the ice and melts it. And we'll talk about the ice, I think, tomorrow. Again, you're looking at our area. So let's go look at the models here and see what's going to be happening here as we head into this next week. And the pattern is not great. It's not a great pattern to be in because, again, if we go and we look at jet stream here, and I'm going to go to the, actually, let's take this to the North American view. You'll see here the jet stream is just very disorganized. All right. Very disorganized jet stream, and now we have this ridge that's going to be developing in the east. Again, next week it looks like a big high pressure there. It's going to be setting up as we get into this upcoming week here. And it's going to keep us in the southerly flow. At least it's more of a southerly flow, but then look what happens. It starts to become more of a westerly flow. But if you look at the jet stream, you'll see we have barely a jet stream around at all. So without a jet stream to really move anything along, to really bring any cooler air down from Canada, it's literally just, it's just a complete mess. It's a mess, the jet stream. It's a mess. All right, and if we look at the upper air, now we look at the upper air pattern here, and you will see here in the upper air pattern that we have that ridge in the east again. So we got the ridge in the east, and not really any troughs coming through. There's the only troughiness is like way up here. At least it looks like some troughiness will try to make it into British Columbia, maybe bring in some relief for them. But then the heat just builds over here in this part of Canada, and there's just so much heat around in this upper air pattern that we're in, and not really any nice, refreshing air like what we haven't had in a while. It feels like. So. I'm going to look at the temperature anomaly chart next. All right. So this is the temperature anomaly chart. And you can see here, we haven't been that much above normal with temperatures. All right. But you can see the much above normal in Canada. It's the middle, it's a little below. And then we have, with that ridge building, a little bit above normal weather in the east. But fortunately, we have more of a southerly flow instead of a southwesterly flow. So that'll save us. So we won't be that much above normal, but that heat in Canada does tend to continue. It does tend to continue. So let's get a look at our national. Let's look at this temperature outlook as a whole here on this, and then we'll go and look at our area. All right. So as we look at, and you can just see the warmth going way up into Canada here. Here's tomorrow, and you can see that heat just off to our south, but it looks like we miss out on the worst of the heat, at least. But you can see, look at the heat into Canada. It says 90s going all the way up to Hudson Bay. And it's humid, too. If we look at the humidity, which we will do as well, you'll see it'll be humid as well. I'm showing you this view, so this gives you a little larger scale what's happening. You can see, look at how far the heat. So the heat is shifting more away from British Columbia and more into Ontario, into eastern Canada. All right, and the west still stays hot. Still, there's no real relief in sight for the west at all. Another thing we can look at also is our total accumulated precip as well. And you can see just barely any rain out west at all. All the rain is falling pretty much east of the Rockies. Very little rain in Canada, too, so it's dry there, too. So those fires are going to keep burning as well. So this is just a look of a wider look at what's happening compared to the national view that I normally give you, so you get an idea of what's going on in Canada too. So let's change this to our local region, and let's go look at our temperatures as we head into tomorrow. And I'm going to start with the HRRR here. And And of course, we don't have enough of that in. You know, I wanted to go back to this for a minute. Because I wanted to look at dew points here. Oh, that's right. I forgot. It doesn't do dew points on this one. That's right. It doesn't. All right. So let's go to the HRRR. I got to go to the 18Z HRRR. Because we don't really have enough of the 0Z in. So we'll use the 18Z for tomorrow, and we'll look at our temperatures. So it's going to be a, not terrible, not a terrible night temperature-wise. 60s. Still going to be a little humid out there. You'll feel it, but it won't be like really oppressive. Tomorrow is going to be similar to today, but maybe with a little more cloud cover, and temperatures maybe only in the 70s. All right. Again, getting back Monday night, we're in the 60s, and then things start heating up a little more on a Monday. Long Island, again, we're going to have that southerly flow, so Long Island, I think, avoids the 90s, but I think you're going to see 90s in Jersey, Long Island 80s, and we're going to have that southerly flow. So if we look at the dew points, you'll see there's a southerly. Well, it's somewhat of a south-southwesterly flow, but I see a little bit of a southeasterly flow here, too. So, but you'll notice the dew point's way up there, so you're going to really be feeling the humidity on Monday. Very humid. Definitely more humid than it will be tomorrow. Dew points tomorrow will be in the upper 60s. But for Monday, we're going to have dew points. It looks like dew points surging into the mid-70s. That's pretty sticky and uncomfortable. Again, it's just constant, non-stop humidity here. We don't get any relief at all from the humidity. You want to get relief from the humidity, you'd have to go to like Maine or something like that, because other than that, you're not going to be getting any relief from it. So now let's look at our precipitation. And tomorrow we'll have a bigger chance of showers and thunderstorms, I think. So here's tonight, and again, just that scattered activity. It probably won't make it to Long Island. Tomorrow we have a bigger chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. You can see a few of them popping up there. And then a more significant line develops to our north tomorrow night. And this looks like it stays just to our north, this line here, as we head into Monday. So it looks like we avoid most of the precipitation with this. But again, with such humidity around, you never know. It could generate something a little closer. Let me go to the NAM now. We'll look at the NAM at 3, and we'll look also at the precipitation chance. So you see that scattered chance of showers. It looks like it has an area of light rain over the morning, and then as we get into the afternoon, it definitely tends to, like, it's really a very slight chance that we're going to see rain tomorrow. Very slight chance. And Monday, also a slight chance. It would be you'd have to wait until the evening, and then maybe we'd see maybe some more of these showers and thunderstorms come a little closer to us. So let me go back to the temperatures, and we'll now look at the GFS as we go past Monday and we go into this week here. So you see here's the GFS. Keeps most of the heat in Jersey on Monday. For Tuesday, it's a little cooler. Temperatures have dropped a little bit, probably because this is like a little bit of a frontal boundary here, you can see, but it's just stalled out. Same deal for Wednesday. And then Thursday is when we're going to start seeing some of the heat, I think. Possibly 90s returning to Nassau County, as we're probably going to get more of a southwesterly wind, and that might bring us the heat again Thursday, Friday, and the next weekend we might also be dealing with a little heat, too. Though it's, like I said, it's not terrible heat. Could be worse, but one thing that that's going to be a constant is the humidity. So if I look at the dew points on this GFS, you'll see here's Sunday, and you can see the humidity surging into the area. Here's Monday again with those dew points. Monday is going to feel very sultry and humid. A little less humid on Tuesday because we have this little backdoor front coming through, but it's stalled out right here. If we can draw it right here, you'll see it's stalled out right in this spot right here. It's stalled out, so the cool air can't really make it too far in, and it probably won't clear out very much at all. We'll probably have that chance of showers with that stalled front around. And then as we deal with Wednesday, again, the humidity starts coming back into the picture, and then you can see it just doesn't really go away. You can see we're stuck in dew points either 60s or 70s, upper 60s. The dew point really doesn't make it below 60 at all. And maybe we try to get some drier air in here, but you can see we just can't get any fronts through because, again, there is no jet stream. There is no jet stream right now. All right, so there's nothing to bring these fronts through at all whatsoever. All right, so let's look at our precipitation chances here. And as we go into this is Monday. You can see Tuesday, we're going to be dealing with maybe a slight chance. It's not really bringing up that much shower activity here. Wednesday, it's all going to be slight chances. But again, it would be maybe this looks like a front trying to make it through. But again, they just can't make it through. All right. And that, of course, doesn't bode well if you want to have a nice blue sky. Obviously, we had a nice blue sky yesterday, and I should have taken advantage of it. Tomorrow, we're going to be probably having a lot of clouds. Here's Monday on the GFS. Probably plenty of clouds. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe later Thursday, but it'll be hot. So, and we might be dealing with the smoke. That's the other thing. So, getting a nice blue sky is very hard to do. Let's go to the NAM now. Look at the sky cover with the NAM. Let's go. So, let's start with tomorrow, and you see plenty of clouds around. Probably more than today. Probably less likely to see the sun tomorrow than today. And then Monday, we're also going to have plenty of clouds around too. So, plenty of clouds around, and then plenty of clouds around as you head into Tuesday as well. Let's go to the RGM here. So you can see just not a great sky tomorrow. I mean, it tries to clear it out late in the day, but that's already by the time the sun is going down, 5, 6 o'clock. And then more clouds for Monday. And then Tuesday, similar deal. So, the only reason why we had those nice skies yesterday is because of Elsa. Because we had a little subsidence on the rear end of the storm, and that helped bring us some nice blue skies. But other than that, we're stuck in junky skies for until further notice, probably. So let's now look at the severe weather threat. Let's go to the SPC, Storm Prediction Center. So you can see nothing going on. It's all in the Midwest right now. Nothing going on for us. Let's look at tomorrow here. If there's anything for tomorrow here. Day 2 convective outlook. So they have, nothing really close to us. The nearest area that would have a marginal risk would be Pennsylvania. Not really too much for us, per se. So I'm going to also look at the Climate Prediction Center, which is another area that we haven't looked at in a while. And we're going to go ahead and look at this as well and see that it has the northwest and the 6 to 10 day way above normal. And just slightly above normal with precipitation. You can see this general trend continues. Here's the 8 to 14, where it brings us a little more closer to normal, but the northwest is still way above normal. And week 3 to 4, these outlooks are a little, like I said, not the most accurate, but you can see generally the pattern that we're just not going to see much of a change in the pattern that we already have, that we already are with right now. So let's go to the Vent 2 sky now, and we're going to look at several parameters. Let's go to the thunderstorm threat for tomorrow, first of all, and we'll go to Sunday here, and you'll see there's some pretty impressive cape off to the west, but I think it stays there. It just stays there. It doesn't come here. Probably this is 2. This is 5. It gets up toward Philadelphia. But it really doesn't make it any more past there. So that's why the threat, I think, for any severe thunderstorms is kind of fairly small at this point. You go to the lifted index here. You have enough for a shower or a thunderstorm, but probably just nothing severe. Now I'm going to go back to the Cape, and we'll look at Monday too as well. Of course, this is a little further out. Now Monday is a little more impressive. So Monday may be a day, because it'll be hotter, that we might have more of that instability, that we could see that. All right? So let's go back to Sunday. Look at the temperatures here as we head into 3 o'clock here, 2 o'clock. And you'll see southeasterly flow. So Long Island, fairly cool in the 70s. And in the 80s, of course, because you're in Jersey, it's always hotter in Jersey. And if you look at the dew point, you'll see dew points again. Generally in the upper 60s too, around that 70-degree mark. Not exactly It's still humid out, but when we compare this to Monday, the humidity will jump quite a bit. And you can see the humidity jump quite a bit here. Dew points well into the mid-70s. It'll be really juiced up air. But we have that southerly flow, so that keeps Long Island from dealing with most of the heat. We'll be dealing with 80s. But if you're in Jersey, you'll be dealing with a lot hotter than that. And then for Tuesday, it backs off a little. Actually, now this doesn't back off much of the heat at all, actually, for Tuesday. But Long Island still has the southeasterly flow, and then you see all the heat over Jersey. Now when we go and we look at the cloud forecast on this, which we'll also do here. Here's the cloud forecast, and you can see we're just socked in with clouds. It's not gonna be clear. Monday, same deal. Just this weather just sucks. That's all. It would be a nice day to get outside and go to the pines with a nice blue sky. But who knows when that is ever gonna happen at any time soon. So that's gonna wrap up this weather update. Thanks for watching.